And what this group is focused on 3 key programs. Do I have my presentation up, please? Second slide. The 3 programs are the IBM Skills Academy program, which is a collaboration with universities to help bridge the digital literacy and technology skills within Nigerian universities, and also help improve the quality of education, technology education in those universities. We have something also called Africa Technical Academy, which is focused on our clients and our business partners. We've realized that our clients dig more into more technology, there's need for more skills to be able to use technologies that they're obtaining. Third and most important, which is where I'm going to spend most of my time today, is a new program which was launched last year called Digital Nations Africa. It's a digital literacy program that is aimed specifically for Africa and will run over the next 5 years in Africa. So let me just quickly run through each of them. For the IBM Skills Academy, it's providing students with career-oriented training programs, specifically on technology. And the way we do this is we partner with the universities to teach them on emerging technologies, and they then go on to take the certification exams as evidence of having obtained the training, which we're giving on to them. We do this also for faculty members. And the idea behind the faculty member training is to ensure that they can then go on and cascade this further to the students. We have 1 or 2 universities that have not only done this as part of the program with IBM, but infused this curriculum into their technology programs as a university. Today we have about 11 universities within the program. I have the list up on my next slide. I'm sorry I can't see my slides, but I assume that my friend who's helping me is helping me very well. So I'm running blind at this point in time. But I think I'll just go on. We've got University of Lagos, Lagos State University, Covenant University, Bowen University, Obafemi Awolowo, Bells University, University of Ibadan, University of Ilorin, University of Nigeria Nsukka, Yaba College of Technology, and African University of Science and Technology. So about 11 of them. Today we have about 3,800 students trained and certified on these solutions. And then we have about 700 faculty members also certified. And all of this is done free. IBM does not collect a single dime for making this happen in those universities. Our focus is to ensure that these kids, when they come out of school, they become ready for employment, and they can focus on top careers in technology. And the training program includes things like data scientists, business intelligence, business processes, application mobile development, and the rest of them. And we've been running this for the past 3-4 years. And it's our aim to make this more nationwide than the few universities that I just mentioned a few minutes ago. Africa Technical Academy did not happen this year because of DNA, and as such, I won't talk about that. I'll just go on to DNA. DNA is our mission to empower African youths with the right skills, digital skills, to be able to function in the digital world. One of the things we've realized is there's a huge skill gap within the space, and we needed to come up with something to help address some of these concerns. It's a platform that has a curriculum built into it. It's a free platform. Every and anybody can join to run the DNA program, even though we advise that it should be kids from age 5, and there's no upper limit. And I'll tell you why in a few minutes. The whole aim at the end of the day is that Africans can find the right jobs that fit their skills or the kind of, and be able to progress their career in whatever way they deem necessary to doing so. Then it will help develop skills on emerging technologies. Like I said, it helps create vacancies, job vacancies that can help fill our national labor force, and then it also help promote innovation. There are 3 categories within DNA. The very first one is called digital explorers. These are individuals with very, very limited digital skills and who like to pick up the skills around new and emerging technologies. Second category is innovator. The innovators, next slide, please. Yes, that's right. These are people who already have ideas about building things, and then we can help them accelerate that process of innovation so that they're able to bring their ideas to fruition in a much quicker and faster and better way. Part of what we also do here is we make available our development tools at no cost to them to be able to develop, come up with their innovation. The last one is the new collar. It's for those who are looking for for job employment, those who want to align their skills to what the requirements of the corporate world is, and those who are looking for just better job opportunities or employment. What we've realized is there's a huge gap between what you learn when you're in school and when you get into the companies where you need to work. And the companies do a lot of retraining to get you job ready. And what this segment of DNA does is get you that job ready. Each of the categories has a unique curriculum to enable you move from step 1 to step 100 or whatever the step is, and able to get the badges required to show that you truly have completed this and you understand the topic and you're able to utilize whatever skills you picked. On the innovation side as well as new collar side, same thing. On the new collar side, part of what we've also done as a company is partner with all the critical job firms within Africa so that once you get that badge or the certification, your name gets populated onto their database directly and you become visible to all to see the kind of skills you have. How are we driving DNA within Nigeria, I think is the next thing that comes to mind at this point in time. Unlike some other small African countries where this is being driven as a national agenda, and what I mean by that, in Ghana, for instance, the Minister of Education was at the launch of DNA, and what he's doing right now is doing a pilot with some schools in Accra. And depending on how that pilot goes, we then determine what needs to happen for this to be extended to the rest of the country. In Nigeria, we realize that we don't have that central power to drive this as a national activity or initiative. And what we've done is we come up with three broad strategies. The first one is to look at the 6 geopolitical zones within Nigeria. And what we've done within those is we picked pilot states in the geopolitical zones. In the northwest, we picked Kano and Kaduna. In the north central, we picked Abuja and Nasarawa. In the southwest, we picked Lagos and Ondo. In southeast, we picked Anambra and Enugu. And south-south, Akwa Ibom and Delta. And what we've done is we met with chief executives of those states. We've introduced DNA to them. They set up their teams to work with us on DNA. And each state is at a different stage of maturity in terms of coming up with a work plan and then starting to execute the work plan. We've got a second group of people whom we've termed our delivery partners. One of the big challenges of DNA is all IBM provides is just the content, the curriculum. There's still need for you to access DNA using your smart devices as well as have the internet connectivity or access, or whatever you want to call it. And we've come to partnership with a couple of agencies who are interested in providing some of those elements to make DNA successful. We're currently working with NPower. NPower is the initiative from the Office of the Vice President to help improve technology literacy within Nigeria. What NPower does is they recruit about, it's a sizable number of youth corpers. Right now, the number is 500,000, but what they've done is they've only worked on 250 for now. The next batch is remaining 250. And what they do, they enable these guys with devices as well as skills and other enablement programs to enable them become more functional when they go into that locations. We're also working with ECOWAS to try and make this a cross West African initiative. There's some things we're doing in MTN Foundation as well, Mafita, Foundation for Moral Value Orientation, as well as Ingressive. Those are our delivery partners. We've got our technical partners, companies that provide things like technology hubs, portal cabins for technology skills acquisition. We go in partnership with them to ensure that we're able to use their locations for DNA. I'll stop here because I'm sure there'll be quite a few questions for me with regards to DNA as we get into the panel discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Faulkner. I think the goal of this session really is to build upon the discussions from the previous session and to see how best we can harness tri-sector partnerships towards building human capital in Nigeria. And Dipo has rightly started off on that note. So Dipo, I think I'll just ask you first. You've mentioned what you're doing with the Africa Skills Initiative, and I think it's amazing. A lot of other stakeholders here are probably trying to see how to work the same way you're doing, basically bringing all other stakeholders together to deliver programs. Are there specific challenges that you're going through that people can learn from so that, for example, the UK government is starting a new global skills program as well. So we'd like to know what challenges, are probably vested in this tri-sector partnerships and then how we can, go from there based on your experience.
I think the first one is we all talk a lot around giving back as global companies. We talk about skills being of importance. We talk about getting youth job ready so that they can pick up, either create employment for themselves or get the right kind of jobs. But most times it's just lip service. There are very few agencies, very few government institutions that are taking this seriously. Even in our little interactions with the state governments as we go around the nation, you realize that that's when you get to see those who are serious and those who are not serious. For the better part, they're not serious, and that's my opinion. I think the first thing they look out for is what's in it for them, and when it's not clear what's in it for them, they just start giving you the runaround. So that's the first thing you're going to get, which is the lack of genuineness and interest in the topic, by those who ideally should be and should drive this for us. So that's the very first one. The second one is, when I look at DNA specifically, not one single organization can address the gap. Not one single organization can come up with a bullet that solves all the problems. And you see each person doing his own initiative in a siloed manner. And again, this is where the agencies who are meant to manage this, comes into play, in the sense that this company A has got laptops or PCs or devices they're given to help include technology literacy. Company B has got content. Company C has got whatever it is they're adding to it. Why do we pull all of this together and make it work for us? And I'm not saying at the federal government level. No, it doesn't have to be. State level, for instance, local government level. What can we do to put company A, B, C, D's programs together and make those programs work? Rather than doing that, they are the ones that even will tell you around, oh, we signed an MOU here, we're not sure we can break the MOU. And you tell them, it's very basic. What MOU did you sign? To put laptops in the hands of kids. That's it. You put the laptop in. What's going to happen with laptops? They play games on them if you don't put content on them. And that's secondary. Third is, each time a program like this starts, there's a huge expectation from Nigeria because of our tele density. Everybody believes, every other Nigerian has a smartphone. But what exactly are we doing with smartphones? As a people, we're not very conversant with learning using the devices in our hands. When Facebook, when one chat bot or the other, the latest gossip in town, the focus is not on learning. And when you have a learning program on these platforms, you're also going to figure out how you're going to encourage people to actually learn, including giving them, tokens, whatever it is to make them just want to spend some of that money for social on learning as well. I'll stop there because I'm sure that other of my
Thank you very much.
colleagues will have more experience than me.
And just because you've touched on, state governments, I think Abosede knows I'm coming right for her. He's mentioned some of the challenges working with state government, laxity, bureaucracy, and that's fine. But considering your role at the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, and specifically on managing stakeholder engagement, what would you say has to be the role of government really in ensuring that these multi-sectoral partnerships actually work, and what can be done really?
Great, thank you very much. So I definitely think that we're part of the ones on Dikwa's good books. So, this is what really makes me proud. I remember the last time that we were at ACT Foundation and I sat, on a panel representing the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. We had almost 3 partners on the stage. And I'm really happy and proud that we've got IBM and we've got VGG on the stage as well. And I think that, so to your question, it's important that when I've been preaching this message, when you do find government putting in place the right institutional framework and the right policy framework, that we as partners rally around those organizations. And I think that that's what the LSCTF in the last 24 months has successfully become a poster child of is the fact that once the framework is right, the governance structure is right. So we have an independent board of trustees. We're very hybrid. People don't really understand it. We have our own money, and therefore it positions us, to partner with IBM and to take DNA forward in a way that we don't really have to deal with the bureaucracies that I guess other states deal with.
Okay, thank you very much, Bosede. I'm coming from Professor Ogushola now. Nigerian universities combined together, they probably churn out about 50,000 graduates every year. And there's been a lot of talk around the suitability of these graduates to find jobs, their employability, and how relevant their skills really are to match what the industry needs. So what do you think the role of, or what is the university doing really to address this perceived skills mismatch in our youth today?
Okay, thank you very much. Let me first thank Chevening for asking us to be a part of this, because one of the things that we've found over the years is that the universities have started improving, but there's also, we have one major fault. We don't talk about what we do. But let me use the University of Lagos as one of the things we've done. In 2013, we developed a strategic plan that was for 25 years, or 5 years, which we modify. And within that, we recognized the future of work and recognized that the skills we have, that we're not delivering students that are necessarily fit for purpose. And so my office was developed. That's for entrepreneurship, strategic partnerships, and internationalization. That the only way we're going to move forward is to look beyond our little ivory tower and engage with industry. So we engage with industry, we engage with governments that are serious. So University of Lagos also engages with LSTF, because for us, we're all taking care of the youth. We're also engaging with international partners. So we have a lot of partners in the universities abroad. We've developed MOUs, and my office ensures that they are activated and that those MOUs deal with what we need. So we've also developed our entrepreneurship center. Now that's very different from what a number of universities do. We're not in the vocational skills business at all. We're more into the mindset. So the basic foundation of our ESTF is design thinking, that it has to be solution oriented. There are lots of problems, and we do know that a lot of the jobs and what we're doing now is going to change, and the knowledge we have is a foundation, but the jobs out there are going to change. We've also recognized that if we're going to move forward, we also have to change our teaching styles and become more facilitators of learning. Now, all these are going to take time. They require money. They require for us to work very closely with industry so that there's a sort of backward integration, so that they are part of our curriculum. And we've started that. So we're working, and also in terms of our research projects, which is an easier way, because you find out what the problems are and you develop research.
Millions of young people that we have here. So as they're getting these skills, they know how to market their skills. We sensitize them to, different stores, Apple Store. You can develop a program, publish it online, and make your money remotely. And that's what's happening. So I think it's something we can sensitize people. Universities, let them come in so that the young students can know about this. And I believe that will make a very big dent in this problem that we have in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll take one from Join, please.
Thank you, GBK. Thank you all to the panelists. My name is Junior Benson. I am a 2015 alumna. I recently started an agency for the recruitment of temporary staff, and it's mainly trying to get more students to do work study, and then people that are pre-NYSC, so while waiting for work. One of the things that we found out is that a lot of students do not know how to write CVs, do not know how to speak in interviews. So yes, I know Unilag is doing a lot with regards to entrepreneurship, but not everybody is going to start a business. So what are schools doing generally to prepare these people for the job market beyond just, because when I speak to a lot of them, they don't even know that a CV is a selling material. They giggle in interviews. They just see it like, they're talking to their friends. So what are we doing in that regard to actually prepare them for the market?
Okay, Professor. Just let Professor respond to that, and then we'll take one more question.
One of the things we've recognized, and we've actually started, but the thing with Nigeria is always an economy of scales. No matter how many you do, there's a lot more to do. We started, I know that as far back as about 2 years ago, we started teaching them the soft skills, communication, team, collaborate, and we were working with industry, how to write your CV, how to present yourself at an interview, etiquette. But I can assure you, even when we called, not every student turned up, but those who did, I'm sure it impacted them. We still have to go out and find out how that has worked. We're working with Lagos State on RSW, Ready, Set, Work. I think this year about 2,000 of our students were part of that, and they were there last year and the year before. So we are doing that, but we do have a large student body. So for everyone we do, I'm sure you'll find one that hasn't got it. But we are starting a program now. We call it the Entrepreneurship Innovation Business Certificate, that by the time you come out of Unilag, you're going to have 2 certificates, the one you came for and the one that's really working more on a mindset thing. And it will start from 100 level. So by the time you're at 300 level, you will have a certificate. Now, if you can develop a business before you leave, you'll have, the certificate will become bronze, gold, and so on. And we're working also with industry and entrepreneurs. That should start in the next session. So we are constantly trying to improve, and I'm sure as we go on, we're going to be reaching out to more and more people. So we're already working with our alumni, we're working with industry, we're working with NGOs and so on. So I agree with you. Many of them don't know, but many of them do. And also just to, many of them have developed apps that are used by industry, but we're many in Nigeria. So anything you do just sort of disappears into this large pool. I'm sure if we aggregated it, we've probably done a lot more than Ghana that's getting all this glory, but 200 million people, we have a lot of work to do. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll just take one last question. Promise to keep it short, Mr. Agudu. Very short. And then very, very short too. Ijoma is really going to crucify me, so please keep it very, very short. Thank you.
Okay, I shouldn't say thank you in a way. The little problem I have about innovation, Nigerians were very full of very sweet, highfalutin words and things like that. But we have forgotten where we're coming from. When I attended St. Finbar's College that bordered University of Lagos, it was a technical and a grammar school. All the desks that were used there were made by the students. It was part of the practical. Why is Nigeria always wanting, to jump the ship? Why can't we go back to the years when we had, for example, Uromi Technical College, Asaba Technical College, the Laspotech, or what is it called, even Premier College, Sapele Technical College. The industries around these communities, just like the university, which is a microcosm of a larger society, universities are fenced in Nigeria. They fence themselves away from the societal problems that they are supposed to be solving. Where are the little industries without training schools? Where is the shipbuilding
Mr. Agudu,
company?
very short, please.
Okay, I can say thank you now.
Thank you very much for the contribution. I think I'll take just the very last one, and I'll have somebody just respond to that very quickly. Yes, please. Please keep it short, Damilola. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Damilola Grilu. I'm Chevening Scholar 2016. Okay, we talked about lip service and no action. Thank you for talking about that, and thank you for bringing up the remote work. My problem is, yes, we can do partnership. But in Nigeria, we have a problem of people stealing ideas. NDAs, they don't go with it. Non-disclosure agreements, that's my own problem right now. You know, you take your ideas to somebody and they'll tell you, okay, we do it this way, come back this way, and yet they don't pick up your calls again. What can we do about this, please?
Okay, so I'll just direct that question to Dr. Deep because you mentioned it, so I think you would do best to respond to this. Yes. Very quickly, please.
I honestly don't have an answer. Because it's at the foundation of everything we're doing. If we can't trust ourselves, then how do we collaborate? We can't. So, and falling back onto the fact that we're a very, very large number of people, we just got to keep trying. For every bad one you meet 2-3 others who are genuine, who really want to do business with you. We can't stop. That's all I'll say.
Thank you very much. I hope nobody has any last things to add. Good. Okay, so thank you very much. This was a very interesting conversation, and I hope that, just like Prof said, we would actually not just end this talk here. We would actually move to action, and some of the partnerships that actually can begin to see, bear fruit from this stage actually begin to happen immediately. So thank you very much, and over to you, Joma. So we'll just take a group photograph, please.
Okay, group photograph. Paparazzi, this is your moment. Okay, thank you very much, distinguished panelists, moderator, and to you all. Okay, so we're not doing too badly time-wise. Apologies to anyone who wanted to speak and cannot. As we said, the conversation doesn't end here. As I said it earlier on, it's supposed to be hashtag Chevening NG Summit, so you can also share your view there as well. And quickly now, we're moving on to reflections and the next step. Not the next level. Next steps by CAN and the BHC. And to take us through the next steps very quickly, let me call on the chief whip of CAN's WhatsApp group. That's how you know him better. Dr. Abiodun Adeniyi. A round of applause for him, please. Yes, Dr. Adeniyi, he puts you in shape. When you say things you shouldn't say on the group, he's your man.
Thank you very much, Ijoma, for doing a very fantastic job thus far. Undoubtedly, you are one of Nigeria's best broadcasters, and you have also proven today, you are also proven that you are one of Nigeria's best compares. Can we give her a round of applause, please? Thank you. Permit me to stand on the existing protocol, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen. But that is if the protocol is not faded yet. But in any case, I will just recognize our president, Dr. John Momo, OON, and our stakeholders, critical ones, and the ones that are partially critical. We thank you for coming, and we want to assure you that this is a new beginning, really. My task is to announce the next stage or the next level. But our own, our own next level is different from their own. Our own is qualitative, our own is going to be deep, and rest assured that our own is going to be very, very penetrating. But seriously, our next level after here will be launch. But after the launch, ladies and gentlemen, we will begin the following. First, we'll do the effectuation of our mentoring scheme, already approved by President John Momo and blessed by the ageless, elegant Udo Mariano Kunjo, our wizkid Valentine Ozigbo, where are you? The inimitable Rahimat Momodu, Marcus Nomido, are you still around? God bless you, and a host of others. And thereafter, ladies and gentlemen, we'll start harvesting the works of our work streams, drawing from ideas already generated from here. Then how about developing our thoughts into ideas that we can share with the larger public ahead of a possible implementation of the many growth and development plans that have emanated from here. I need also to say that the President John Momo leadership made a range of promises around the stimulation of ideas, the heightening of the social value of the average Chevener, and the proper positioning of the Chevening scholar in the nation's sociopolitics. We have achieved 85% of these via our outings and summits and via our media representations. We will be continuing with this and leaving it as a legacy. And we'll engage more in the business of knowledge production, in corporate social responsibility, and in the formulation of strategy, just so we can make our impact felt as we progress to the spatial web. Well, these are all actually our own next level, okay, our own next stage. But the immediate next level, like I said earlier, is actually launch. And I truly look forward to this. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening to me. I'm going to stop now and ask you to please clap for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. He is in person as he is on the group virtually as well. And let me just call on the General Secretary of CAN, Kester Osahaye, to give us the vote of thanks and then to direct you to lunch. Kester.
Thank you so much. My work is quite easy, but I'll start on a note of appreciation to everyone. First, to our president, John Momo ON. You've selflessly driven this association to a higher pedestal. We can only say a big thank you to you. To the British High Commission, we appreciate Laura Buffield, the Deputy High Commissioner. You've done a great job. And to our panelists, we can't thank you enough. Professor Kenneth Amechi, Jide Jadesimi, Folashade Ogunshola, Dikpo Faulkner, Olua Funke Amobi, Abosede Alimi, Chibueze Nana, Lamide Akintobi, thank you very much. And Hajo, Rahimat Momodu, thank you. Valentine Ozibo, thank you so much. Bumi Akim Yemiju, forgive me. Udo Kunjo, thank you so much, Udo. That was quite brilliant. Osaya Lile, and Somachi Chris Asoloka, who came from Tony Elumelu Foundation. And to GBK and the British High Commission team, we sincerely appreciate you. Thank you for a good job. The late sage, Nelson Mandela said, until appreciation is expressed, it's actually not a thank you. So we are so grateful to everyone who made this event quite successful. We know this conversation has just begun. The mentoring session will help us leapfrog this association to higher height, help us to build a Chevening Alumni Association of Nigeria that will help this country, because you see a lot of people don't know that we can actually influence decision. The INEC say 8 million PVC has not been collected. Where are you today? Do you have a PVC? Are you ready to vote? When it's time to vote, we must change our nation. No one can do it for us. No one can actually do it for us. Ronke, my sister here, Onadoko, is serving in government. Fumi is changing a lot of things in tourism. And she's young. What is your excuse as a Chevener? We must change this nation. We will start with you. Thank you for coming. And lunch is served.
Well, I can see everyone is still sitting now, but what better way to close this event than to say we had a chance to cheer us. Hip, hip.